Here we go. All right, guys, it's Monday, April 20th. Thanks for joining me. I was just telling the guys joining me on the screen that I'm not hosting from the gym today. I'm at my in-laws' house in their garage. So bear with me with today's class. Hopefully that everything can go well. So let's take a second here and look at our warm-up. All right, everybody see my screen okay here?
Yes.
Okay, so we've got a series of 30, 20, 10. So that's our rep scheme. So each of these moves we're gonna do 30 reps of, then we're gonna come back and repeat and do 20 of each and then 10 of each. So we've got some Archbody Pulses that we'll do, then a plank on elbows, that's gonna be in seconds. So 30 seconds, 20 seconds, then 10 seconds. We've got some Bodyweight Goodmornings. Maybe you have a band or a lightweight you'd want to use for that too. Go right ahead. Some calf raises. And then after each round there, we're actually going to do 8 cat-cow. So that's not going to be at the 30, 20, 10. We'll just kind of go back and forth of a flow between cats and cows, okay? So let's go ahead together. So starting with 30, find some space on the ground. We're going for our Archbody Pulses. Let me share this again, make sure. Okay, cool. So got my spot laid out here. Archbody Pulses, guys, we're on our stomach. So join me here and we will lift our hands, think biceps next to the ears here in front, and our feet are coming off the ground as well. And the pulse here, guys, means that we're just going to come up, then back down, up, then back down. Okay, so going 30 reps here. We're squeezing the glutes as we lift the legs and trying to relax our cervical spine, keep our gaze downward rather than cranking our neck looking forward. And again, biceps trying to come up to the ears on each of these. If the hands in front of you become a little bit challenging as we're doing this, feel free to bring the hands back behind. Keep the palms facing the ground, and we can pulse just like this as well. Okay, looking for 30 times with this, everybody.
Traumatized, I can't sleep at night. Traumatized, I need you by my side. Traumatized, I need you in my life. I'm so traumatized.
Looking good, everyone. Don't forget to contract the glutes as we're at the top of that, lifting our legs off the ground. Big squeeze from the glutes as well as the lower back that's lifting our chest off the ground as well. Once we're done with that, we'll go ahead and find our plank on our elbows, okay? So I'm gonna go ahead and start. We're gonna go for 30 seconds here. Join me if you're still pulsing, that's fine. Just join me here. We're gonna hold in 3, 2, 1, and holding our plank position. Again, if you were still pulsing and you're joining a little bit late, that is fine. We'll just go up to my 30-second mark here. Once you're thinking about squeezing your abdominal muscles, as well as your quads, your thighs, as well as a big glute squeeze in the back. That's gonna keep your firm, solid core in check. Breathing through this, we're holding for another 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, relax. Make our way up to our feet again. We're going for our Bodyweight Good Morning. So with a good morning, we're gonna get our feet stacked at hip width. We're going to hinge, bend, pull our chest down to the ground as we send our butt back. We're gonna feel our hamstrings light up, and then we have a big glute squeeze back to a standing position, okay? Once we get the general idea there, we can speed things up just a little bit here. Hinge and stand. Remember that we are only hinging as far as we can without bending the knees or letting your back collapse, okay? So lock those shoulders in place at the top. Keep your back flat. If you reach a point where that starts to bend or your knees start to bend, that's okay. That's just your full range of motion for the good mornings, right? I'm going for 30.
Don't stop right now. If I can love you, then I will love you. I'm letting go, and even though it hurts, if I can love you, then God I want to. I think I need to learn to love me first.
Excellent job, everybody. Remember to try and send your bottom back as far as you can in this motion as well. Make sure we're not just hinging forward. The further we can push that back, the more we should feel the hamstrings light up there.
I think I could love you forever, never, never, never. But don't think we should be together. I think I could love you forever. But don't think we should be together.
Hey guys, once we've finished that, and you may still be doing your good morning, feel free to keep on. Our next here is calf raises. So it doesn't really matter our stance here. We can change things up, but think 1 second up, 2 to 3 seconds down. So a slower motion back down to the ground. It's going to be a little more challenging. It's going to feel a little bit more of a burn because we are trying to prevent our body weight from just crashing to the ground, right? Music's coming in a little hot there. Good, so still going for 30 here. Excellent. We can also practice a good, carried over from our plank position that we had on the ground, a good core squeeze in this position as well. Okay, we can lock in on all of those places. Maximize that core strength too, even though our focus is on the calf here. Woo! Got some jump roping, single unders, double unders. Maybe you're just in jumping jacks today, but that's why we're trying to get the calf nice and warm. 30 of these does definitely give a good burn. Once we're done with that, guys, at your own pace, we're going to come through just, again, a flow of some cat-cows, okay? So you'll be in each position 4 times. We'll just go back and forth, so 8 total. So remember that our cow position, we're pulling our belly button down to the ground. We're looking up. Our back is arched down to the ground. And then on the flip side of that, our cat, we're drawing our belly button into the spine, really arching our back up, looking back at our feet. Just going back and forth, just hit each position 4 times, and we'll call that 8 total. Nice work, guys. So we will pop back up. We'll go through this series again, now with our rep scheme of 12. So reminder, Archbody Pulses and plank coming up first. So we were just on the ground. We'll get back on the ground, and let's go with our pulses here. Up, squeeze, and release. Squeeze, release, 20 times here. Remember our emphasis on the glute squeeze at the top position here. Yep. And if the arms become too much of a challenge up overhead, just pull those back around. Act like you're reaching toward your heels. Excellent, guys. It's a nice test to try and control your breath as we go through these motions. Don't hop out quite yet. We're going to hold that plank position first. We got 20 seconds. So let's hold together in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Join us when you can if you're not already there. Going for 20 seconds here. Remembering those 3 positions I talked about. So our core abdominals in our belly. We've got our thighs, our quad muscles, as well as our glutes squeezed together. We're dropping in 3, 2, 1. Relax out of that. Coming back to our feet for some of those good mornings. Going for 20. Bring that butt back as far as we can. Remember, you've got a soft knee here, but we're not trying to bend the knee. Our gaze is following this arc movement that our body is creating. Okay, your cervical spine, your neck, following in line with the rest of your spine. Big glute quad squeeze at the top to finish in full hip extension. Once we're there, we'll hit 20 calf raises. Remember, 1 second up, think 2 to 3 seconds down. So we should be slower on the way down in what we call our eccentric motion as we're lowering back down to gravity. And a little bit of tempo work. Have a little bit more time under tension. Work that muscle a little bit harder. Good, guys. Once you hit 20 of those, find yourself in that cat-cow again and breathe through these two positions maybe a little bit faster than we did the last time. Coming up on our last round after this, we'll speed things up with each of these movements. Still showing some good control. We'll make things a little bit faster, get that heart rate up a little more. All right, guys, back to the beginning. We've got our arch pulses and our plank on elbows. Now we're just at 10 each, so we should fly right through this round. So Archbody Pulses, big glute squeeze as we lift and lift, biceps next to the ears, or palms to the ground, reaching back for your heels. Just looking for 10. Then we got a 10-second plank that we'll hold together in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's hold. Quick plank here. Don't even have time enough to talk about it because we're releasing in 3, 2, 1. Awesome. Popping up to our feet. 10 more Bodyweight Good Mornings. Pick up this pace just a little bit more. Hinge and up. Hinge up. Feel that heart rate increasing a little bit. We're moving a lot faster. Finishing here with calf raises. Let's keep the tempo, but maybe speed things up from one rep to the next. 1, 1, 2. 1, 1, 2. Nice, guys. Excellent work. I'll call that the warm-up. If you want one more cat-cow on your own, that is fine, but we're going to go ahead and take a look at today's workout. We've got a couple of different moves to go over. Want to make sure that we are good on time with this as well. So, looking at my screen right here, we've got 2 portions to this workout. We've got a 4-time workout. Okay, so think more of your fast pace, definitely hitting cardio here. And then we've got a secondary piece of this, which is going to be more of your strength piece, where we're going for quality over speed. Okay, so first and foremost, we've got some, what we're trying to do is mimic kettlebell swings. So backpack, dumbbells, kettlebells, whatever you've got, we're swinging, followed by your double unders, single unders, jumping jacks. I programmed some people some touches back and forth, which I'll show you in just a second. As soon as you finish your 5 rounds of those 2 movements, you're resting. Okay, if that takes you 12 minutes, you've got 3 minutes of rest. Once we hit the 15-minute mark, everybody goes into the next portion, which is 3 rounds, again, for quality. And we've got a single arm row, bent over row there, 8 apiece, followed by 30-second side plank on that same side. Then you're repeating on the opposite. Okay, now here on the screen, we do have right followed by left. I would say shoot for your non-dominant side first, just to trick your neurological system, okay? So I'm right-handed, so I would start with a left-handed row and a left side plank, follow that with my right hand, okay? Any question about the overall theme here? Okay, so let's talk about each movement then. So with our swings, we are all familiar with kettlebell swings, guys. I trust your judgment on these. Let me find my weight. I'm using a dumbbell, okay? Everything else still holds true, right? So that weight's gonna hug closely into my legs here as I come down. I've got a big quad and glute squeeze as I pop that up to eye level, okay? Keeping our core engaged the entire time with these swings, guys. All right, go ahead and give me 5 swings with whatever piece of equipment you're getting. Let's make sure that we've got all of our kinks worked out here. Good, we are just looking for Russian here. Remember though that, and maybe you talked to your coach about it, but maybe your scale here is to actually go with American, which is all the way up overhead. Awesome, if not, we're just looking for eye level. Next, guys, you've got your piece of cardio here. Written as double unders or single unders. Talk about a couple of different options that I gave my people. If you are doing jump rope, go ahead and give me a couple of reps with that. If you're looking for alternatives, just listen to me here. We can do jumping jacks, okay? Get the same idea there, really just working our calves. I gave my people some little touches here that we can do back and forth, okay? Something to still pick up that heart rate and work our calves too. Anything like that should work, really. So those two movements together, we can go ahead and call that, guys. Everybody looks pretty solid. Excellent. Finally, the second portion of this, we have our side plank and our rows. So let's talk about the bent over rows just real quick. Hinging, just thinking about our good mornings that we just did. Same idea here. I'm hinged over at the waist. You can bend your knees a little bit more, guys, because I want you to get your torso as parallel as we can here. Just taking that weight hanging below me right here. And I've got a good scap squeeze, okay? So really trying to use the muscles around my shoulder blades here to pull that weight all the way up to my chest, right? Try not to get this little bounce that we get sometimes where we're using momentum. Try to make this as strict as we can. I see everybody demoing right now with their weight. We're looking pretty good. Excellent. Give me about 3 to 5 on each arm. Awesome, guys. And lastly, side planks. I think we're all pretty good with those. Looking to find, ideally, this position here, okay? Arm can come up, arm can come here. When I'm in this position, I like to add in some little thread the needle type rotations, just because I hate being in a stagnant position for so long. If that's challenging on your wrist, feel free to drop to the forearm. Really just trying to raise our hips, draw our hips up to the ceiling as high as we can, while keeping all of the core musculature areas engaged as well. Guys, if this just isn't working out, grab your weight and we can simply do some side bends. We're really just trying to get our core work, especially the obliques on the side here, to be involved as much as possible. So this would work for you as well, okay? Keep in mind that that plank hold is 20 to 30 seconds, depending on your level. If we were doing some sort of alternate version like this side bend, think maybe 12 per side each time, okay? Any last minute questions before we get going? I've got, as I mentioned to you, I've got this timer here. I'm gonna try to make this as easy to see. Your only concern here should be the 15-minute mark. So I will let everybody know once we get there, because again, that starts that secondary piece, okay? One final share of my screen here, just in case you needed to check in on those rep schemes. I'll give you about a minute to check this over, grab your last minute water if you need a restroom break. Otherwise, we're getting ready to go.
Hey, Steven,
Yeah.
on the toe touches, is it 1 left, 2 right, 3 left, 4
Yeah.
right, or is it 1, 1, 2,
Yep.
2?
I would just do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah. And then try to match. Great question. So anybody else that's curious about that, I did have Ann do the single under rep scheme for this. Okay. So if you're doing some sort of like toe touch alternative there, think 75. Okay. Because we want to mimic that single under as much as we can. All right, everybody. Let me get this music cranking and we will be on our way. All right, let's see some good form, guys. Remember, this first bit is 4 times. Here we go in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's roll. Awesome, hitting our kettlebell swings and our version of cardio. Double unders, single unders, toe touches, jumping jacks, whatever that may be. Good. Remember that weight should be in your legs as close as you can. Popping that right back up. Pop. 5 rounds of these 2 movements, guys. Now, this is your 4-time piece. This is where we're going hard, hard, fast, fast, fast. All of these motions. Trying to finish as quickly as we can. Excellent. Stay in control of your breath. Good. Don't forget that we can really emphasize that core position too as we're hitting our jump ropes or jumping jacks. Right? I can still squeeze my abdominals right here to keep this firm, solid position. Excellent. Trying to go as unbroken as possible with the swings, right? Nice, guys. Don't forget about that glute squeeze at the top of the position. That's going to send you into full hip extension. The more squeeze you get from the glutes, the more momentum you're going to get with that weight as you come all the way up to eye level. Yeah. Hey, if that's too light for you, do American, because you look good with that. Looking good, guys.
I've been looking for somebody, trying to get good with somebody. I need a rude boy to tell me something sweet, same time. Got his hands up on my body. I wanna get hot when he take it low, low. Make me feel strong when I'm taking control. I've been looking for my shorty, so come and get it if you got it. All my girls round the world, I know you know what I mean. I get a little sexy when I'm lonely. Nothing on my mind, I know what I need. All my girls round the world, hands up and sing it with me.
3 minutes in. Think about where you're at in your round and what that means for you. A reminder that your single unders, if you are yellow or orange, yellow would be 40 each time, orange would be 60 each time, blue would be 75. Man, that's a lot of time to be going back and forth. Keep that movement steady, going as quick as you can. Looking good, guys. Might as well go as hard as we can here, because as soon as you're done with 5 rounds, you get all that rest time, the 15 minutes, yeah?
I had so much stress from my ex to the next one. You better love me better. I need a bad boy that don't bring me drama. He ain't tryna run when they get the nana. Boy, you ready for the pleasure? And don't you know it's now or never?
Nice, everybody. Staying as light as we can on our feet as we're going through the jump ropes. Heel just kisses the ground every single time. Looking good.
For a man who can take that heat. Want a boyfriend, but not too sweet. My baby got a bit of volley running that street. Is he ride or die? I've been looking so long for a guy could turn me on. I want a boyfriend, yeah, yeah. I want a boyfriend, yeah. I've been looking like
Excellent work. Keep track of your rounds. Looking for 5 total. Here we are at the 5-minute mark. Good. Check in on your breath real quick. Try to stay in control of that the best that we can.
I want a boyfriend, so put it on me. I'm looking for a man who can take that heat. Want a boyfriend, but not too sweet. My baby got a bit of volley running that street. Is he ride or die? I've been looking.
Keep it up, guys. Come on.
I want a boyfriend, yeah, yeah. I want a boyfriend, yeah. I've been looking like
Looking good. Breathe through your core in those kettlebell swings. Keep the core as tight as you can as you go through. You got it. Looking good, guys. Come on. Coming up on the 7-minute mark. Just about halfway to that 15 minutes.
I want you to breathe me in. Let me be your air. Let me roam your body free.
If we are finished or close to finishing at this point, I'd like for us to do maybe another round or so. See if we can go one more. Good. I know at home we're having to play with some different equipment, some different weights than maybe we would do in a normal gym setting. We're doing something maybe less than we would do in a normal gym setting. Increase the reps or the rounds and do a little bit extra to make sure we're getting the most of this time together. We just surpassed our 8-minute mark. Awesome. Keep it up, everybody. Coming up here on 9 minutes.
Tell me who I am. Let me in on all your secrets. No inhibition, no sin. How deep is your love? Said I do.
So maybe you're finished. Maybe you're getting close to finishing. Using this next few minutes here for rest. Getting things figured out for your next piece of workout, which is the single arm row and the side plank, coming up at the 15-minute mark.
How deep is your love? How deep is your love? How deep is your love?
Looking good, everybody. We're at 10 minutes.
How deep is your love?
If you've been resting already, or maybe you're about to finish up at this point, maybe resting all the way up to the 15-minute mark might be too long for you. If you feel ready to go by maybe the 12, 13-minute mark, feel free to start right in. But just remember that that next round is all about quality, okay? So make sure that you've gotten ample rest so that you can continue with some good quality, okay? So again, if that is you, if you've been resting several minutes now, you're feeling ready to start, let's restart again here at the 12-minute mark. That gives you another minute, okay? Otherwise, we're holding off somewhere between 12 and 15 minutes. Everybody will be started in that next section by the 15-minute mark, okay? Everything from there is at your own pace. What's that? 3 rounds for quality, okay? So that is 3 on your left side, 3 on your right. Okay. Good, guys. Make sure you grab some water during your rest, right? Maybe stretch out anything that needs to be stretched. If you're feeling good, you're just getting ready to go. Remember, at the 12-minute mark, I'll allow you to start the next round if you have gotten enough rest. Otherwise, we're still holding on. Nice job, Dee Dee. Good, and here's your 12-minute mark. So if you feel ready to start on your quality portion, go right ahead. I'll give the minute counts every time we get to them, so I'll let you know at 13 minutes, 14 minutes, and then again at 15 minutes when everybody will be starting. Okay, remember to find that good hinged position. Bend your knees in order to get your torso a little more level to the ground. If you have some sort of bench, that also helps to get your torso to the ground as you put one knee and one hand on that. That's going to find that level position. Otherwise, we are just hinged, putting all of your emphasis on that scap motion to pull that dumbbell, whatever weight you've got, kettlebell, all the way up to your chest. Maybe even think about our time under tension, okay? Like we talked about in our calf raises earlier. Okay, think about a hold at the top of this, maybe 2 to 3 seconds before you release back down. Here's your 13-minute mark, by the way. Make sure as we hold these side planks, we are familiar with the clock and where we started. Keep that 20 to 30 seconds, depending on your level. Going back to the rows, what I was saying was each time you row to the top, hold that for 2 to 3 seconds, then release. It's going to hold more time under tension. It's going to put more muscular fatigue into the right places. Yeah, Kelly. Good job using your prop there. Yeah, Kelly's got a chair that she's using. She's got her right arm and her right leg on the chair as she's rowing with her left. That's awesome. Excellent work, guys. Here is your 14-minute mark. If you've not already started, you will be at the 15-minute mark. So remember, this is 3 rounds total. That is 3 rounds on your left side, 3 rounds on your right, hitting both the rows and your side plank. Good, guys. Remember that if your weight may not be heavy, as heavy as you would use in a class setting, you're just going to take that rep scheme and increase that a little bit. Try to take that to a point of further fatigue than it would with just, 8 of a lighter weight that you may have. Okay, that time under tension also helps, so slow that motion down. Hold that at the top for a little bit longer. Whatever you can do with that lighter weight to make the most of it. Maybe when you're in your side plank position, you are using your weight as well. If it is lighter, like we've got going on behind me, nice torso rotation. Good, guys. Forgot to warn everybody at the 15-minute mark, but we have passed it, so we should be... Everybody on my screen's been going anyway, but if you're joining us at home, you should be in that second piece at this point. Good. Another thing to think about as we're doing these bent over rows is that at the top of that position, I want to try to keep my shoulders in line and square, as we would say it. What I don't want to happen is this extensive torso rotation and this. Okay, torso rotation is okay if you want to add it into the planks, but let's try to keep that square parallel to the ground torso position as we're rowing. Nice job, everybody. If you've got a weight that is taking you to a lot of fatigue here as we're hitting these rows, remember that as soon as you come up with those planks, but you don't have to go right into the rows. Take a second, give yourself some time to recover before you jump right back in. This is your quality piece, not your 4-time piece. We're looking good, guys.
Back to my room and tell your girlfriend come too. Tell me what to do. When you're feeling in the mood. 'Cause I'm ready to make a move. I hit it like boom. We've been stalling for so long and now we don't know what to call it, but I brought it. You're ironic. The way you're moving back and forth, though I don't know what I should call it, but iconic. You're iconic.
Looking good, guys. Remember that if we show any sort of instability in that side plank, we can alter that to the side bend. Grab your weight, and we're just hinging from one side to the other. Perfectly okay with that, guys. Like this right here.
Keep between me and you, what we do in private. But it's perfect timing. 'Cause I'm feeling in the mood. If you're ready, we can move.
Nice job, Dee Dee. Keep your back as flat as we can. Our upper back is just kind of hunched over just a little bit. We want to roll the shoulders back. Done? Awesome. Done? All right, guys, if you're done or nearing the finish line, grab some water, hit any sort of stretches you need to. Give just another couple of minutes. Now remember, we're not about time here. Then we'll talk about the accessory piece, and then you will be on your way to the rest of your Monday. Really proud of what I've seen today, guys. We're looking pretty solid. Assuming you're finished, Ann? Awesome. And Kelly, we're done? Nico, you're finished? Awesome. Dee Dee, feel free to keep working if you're still working. I am just going to talk about it. All right, awesome. All right, cool, guys. I'm going to talk about the accessory piece here just real quick, and then I'll let you guys go. Looking for, there we go, some work with balance, okay? So looking for about 10 minutes. So I'm just accumulating as many sets as you can of some front to back scales. Now we've done some front scales and some back scales, but now we are combining the two together. So maybe you are familiar with that, or maybe you're not. So I'll just demo that one time. And again, just looking for 10 minutes on your own time to do this. The front scale, I'm going to shift my weight into one side here. So I'm going to utilize my left. My left leg is going to stand on the ground, and I'm raising my right leg, attempting to come all the way up to parallel to the ground if possible, okay, without any sort of rotation of the hip. Notice my torso stays upright. The only thing moving is my leg. The back scale, on the reverse end of that, I'm going to take back behind me, keeping my toe pointed toward the ground. But on this one, my torso stays in line with my back leg, and I take my torso to the bottom, okay? I lost my balance there a little bit at the end. So again, good practice of balance. And the front to back piece of this just means that we're going forward and immediately backward, okay? Maybe you're touching the ground in between a front to back scale, or maybe you're attempting to just see how many times you can go forward to back without touching the ground, okay? Really get in a good test there. Okay, you're gonna feel that stretch in the leg that is lifting and pushing backward, and then you're also going to be feeling the time under tension in that stabilized leg. So it's going to be a burn on each side. Any questions about that, anybody? Feeling pretty good? Yeah, if you can see Kelly's screen real quick, she's got a little addition that's going to help out with balance, you know, maybe a broomstick, PVC pipe if you've got it, something like that. Otherwise, putting that balance to test. Awesome job today, guys. High five to the camera in 3, 2, 1. Thanks so much for hanging out with me today.
Bye.
See you guys soon.
Tomorrow.
Bye.